You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting. green flag is out underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
From New York's wine country, just outside of all that would be civilization, the Glove Station ARCA series on Goat Locker Racing's family of networks is here to rock and roll at Watkins Glen. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night of Sim Racing Media presenting Goat Locker Racing's Glove Station ARCA series. Folks, these guys are ready to turn right. They're finally done with a couple of our 1-mile tracks in the ARCA series, and of course, the ARCA cars don't get a whole lot of road racing time. So things are going to get real interesting real fast here tonight as I, Dave Regal, sit alongside my broadcast partner extraordinaire, Mr. Jordan Brockell, and we'll be with you every step of the way, from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And Jordan, what a night it is here as we get ready to turn right a couple of times, go a little uphill, a little downhill. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, certainly. You know, this car's always on the edge and you know, on the fringe of being out of control, and it's a ton of fun to run this car here. But this is my favorite road course in general to be on. You know, you have the long straightaway to this hard braking, you know, right-hander, and then go up through the S's, down the backstretch to the bus stop, through the carousel. I mean, it's just a technical track that I absolutely love to be around.
Yeah, you know, this place would be what I would personally say is kind of a, we'll just say acquired taste, if you will. Of course, me personally, I was never good at racing at a place like this, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to see some great racing out of our AM drivers and our pro drivers tonight. As here we are in week number 8 at Watkins Glen. Next week we head to Pocono. So this will be our only road course of the season in the ARCA series. And I'll tell you what, this season has already whipped past quicker than you can, you know, possibly imagine. And look at these points that we're about to pull up here. The points in ARCA are getting tighter and tighter as we see those pull up here on your screen. For starters, we have to understand that drivers must compete in 7 to 10 regular season races to be playoff eligible. Now, over here on the left-hand side of your screen, there are only 3 other drivers eligible for the playoffs. Chance Taylor, which he's 9 points below the cut line. Casey Jones, 18 points below the cut line. And Josh Lokenvitz, 31 points below the cut line. So when you kind of look at that and then look over here to the AM division, it's, at least in the AM division, this is a wide open field. They still have several spots, several eligible drivers, you know, waiting to lock in with participation and a mathematical chance, as long as those guys race 7 out of the 10 regular season races. So, you know, the other thing to note, unlike our points that we took a look at last night in the Truck Series, which just got its first repeat winner this season, Chris Morse Jr. kind of running away with these races with 4 wins on the season. Eddie Smith and Andy Kurtz with a win apiece, and then 5 wins between David Calvert and Jeremiah Holt, and one win apiece between Alan Smith and Cliff Adams on the AM side. You know, this is just incredible. As we get ready to rock and roll, we're already at the end of qualifying, and folks, you know what that means. We're ready to grid up here. And, you know, as you had mentioned a moment ago, there's a lot of technical work that has to be done on this place. As I think I lost my partner, I certainly don't hear him anymore. Let's check for.
You got me. You got me now.
There we go. Here, I thought we were getting ready to lose you.
You blipped out a little bit on me, and then I guess everything just decided to cut itself off. So the word I heard was technical, and that's about all I heard.
Well, and technical is what we were just talking about. Now, Chris Morse Jr. as qualifying, just wrapping up here. It looks like Chris Morse Jr. would be our pole sitter, assuming everybody else gets their laps in. Of course, qualifying going to be a little bit longer tonight than usual. We want to take this moment here to, of course, talk about our new Warrior Spotlight on the evening. And folks, as all of you know, Goat Locker Racing, and hopefully if you don't know, you do know now. Goat Locker Racing is a nonprofit organization that supports veterans and first responders, and basically they are able to hook some of these guys up with full racing rigs, full sim racing rigs, free of charge. And this month, our Warrior Spotlight, as last month it was Dan Craykiel, now comes to Dan Huchin, who was in the United States Army for 11 years, from 2010 to 2021. And he's got a little something here to say. Thanks to InVets, he was introduced to Goat Locker Racing and presented an unbelievable opportunity to receive a sim rig and join the racing community. And he talks about the fact that the camaraderie and the mentorship and competition of the GLR family is something he looks forward to every week. And, here's the thing. And he expresses his gratitude, of course. And here's the deal. These guys at Goat Locker, you will never find a better set of human beings than these guys at Goat Locker. I mean, when he says that, he was able to receive a sim rig, that's free of charge. Any money that you donate to Goat Locker Racing, which you can check out online, goes directly to veterans and first responders and things like that. And at GLR, they provide virtual racing equipment, racing team building opportunities, fundraising events to support community initiatives, and improve military and public servant quality of life. We seek to grow our competitive team of drivers and promote VR racing as a healthy activity to newly transitioning veterans and their families. We believe that friendly competition, adrenaline-soaked driving, and community gatherings are essential to a good quality of life for our civic servants and veterans, and that GLR can be a force of good across the state of Indiana and beyond. And those donations that we're talking about, if you want to check them out online, Goat Locker Racing, they will fund equipment for qualifying drivers, racer simulation training for military, firefighter, EMS, and police, public racing events and community outreach with a mobile simulator, other veteran-serving nonprofits, and, of course, veteran education and supplemental grants. So it all goes to good. It doesn't, I think one of the stats that always frustrates me is when you see things like out of every dollar that you give to the Red Cross, 80 cents of it goes to admin and 20 cents of it goes to actual good, or to even groups, like the Salvation Army or something like that. So much of it goes to paying other people's, salaries. But all of that money goes right here to these folks at GLR and does some good in the community. So a tip of the cap and a salute here to our friend John Huchin, who I don't see him on track tonight. No, I do not. So unfortunately, we won't get a chance to speak with him tonight. Of course, we also want to talk about our winners from last week, our pro winner from last week. Check this out. As first of all, a huge thank you to Dan Craykiel, as Morse picked up win number 4 in the season. We were just talking about Chris Morse running away with some of this stuff, and sure enough, he picks up win number 4. He was joined on the podium by Eddie Smith and Jonah Colbert on the pro side. And then, of course, on the AM side, Jeremiah Holt picked up the win. And, Jeremiah Holt, another one of those drivers that we've seen, multiple times, as he secured a back-to-back win. And on the AM podium, along with him, was Cliff Adams and Matt Knights. As it looks like everybody has gotten a chance to qualify now. says, yep, it looks like everybody did. Let's just assume so, as we're going to head on down and see if Chris Morse, nope, he is not in the truck yet, or in the car yet, as Chris Morse is going to be our Jam Printing and Promotions pole winner of the evening out of Plainfield, Indiana. Out of Plainfield, Indiana, we are local and we are veteran certified, and when we do well, we can do more good in the community. Since forming in 2013, JAM has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning, and they provide GLR with all promotional items, including shirts, hats, decals, dog tags, you name it. JAM is GLR's go-to promotional company, and they, of course, support the pole award across all of our divisions in Goat Locker Racing. And tonight, that goes to Chris Morse Jr. And, of course, here we are trying to see who may or may not be in their race chats tonight. Looks pretty quiet here on the Western Front. Jamie Libke getting himself in there. He's going to be starting in 16th position. Let's see if we can get Jamie dialed up here on the radio. And where might he be? Hey, Jamie, it's Dave and Jordan up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, brother?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, man, listen, it's going good, but, you know, here we are ready to start making right-hand turns tonight. How does that make you feel as we get ready to roll tonight?
I love it.
He says he loves it. Obviously, they don't do drug testing in this league.
Oh, I got a CDL. I saw
Fair enough. Look at it.
I
He's
like
already
it a
wiggling.
lot.
He's already wiggling the wheel back and forth. He wants to make sure that it does turn right here at Watkins Glen. As you've got yourself starting in 15th tonight, that's going to change a little bit with some of the penalties. But what's going to be your strategy moving forward?
Just stay on the track. Stay on the track and stay out of people's way. I'm definitely not the best at this. I'm 2 seconds off of our front runners, so when they get around and come up to me, it's just let them by. It's not my fight.
I totally get it. I totally understand and respect that. Well, good luck, my brother, and maybe we'll see you on the other side here.
Yep.
As we're going to get him down here, back onto the Sim Racing Pride. I almost said sheet, but you know what I meant. Chat. Suddenly, I can't speak this evening. Why not?
Well, I can never speak on a daily basis, so I mean, you got me beat there if you can speak, somewhat. So, I say Aaron's Dream Machine. Oh, my ADHD kicking in there. Oh, woo!
No, listen, you can have all the ADHD you want tonight. I saw this, and let's see if I can pull that up here on the Zoom cam. Of course, I don't have a Zoom cam tonight. Let's see.
He's on fire.
I just saw the 98 of Cliff Adams out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. There it is. In the 98 with a Yingling black and tan paint scheme.
Yeah, here he goes on his Yingling.
I did have one this evening. But Chris Morse Jr., he's going to lead the way as we've got about a little less than a half lap to go as we take a look at the grid. Chris Morse Jr. going to sit on the pole. He'll be joined in the front row by Timothy Wilmus. Jake Ellingson and Eddie Smith in row number 2, while Daniel Cunningham and Ryzen Baker sit in row number 3. Row 4 is Jonah Colbert and Mark Cofield, while Gavin Schilling and Brandon Kilker are going to be in row number 5. Sean Pope McCarthy and Michael McCarthy are going to be in row 6, while row 7 is Cliff Adams and Jeremiah Holt. Jamie Libke, Josh Unger, Brandon Wallace, Riley Duncan, Chuck Pegleg-Feltz, Alan Smith, Robert Kubat, and Noah Hogard. Hoagie is back on track tonight as we get ready to turn them loose here for 40 blistering laps here at, of course, Watkins Glen. The iRacing.com pace car peels on off, and that means, folks, the only thing that's left to do is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab your honey buns, some popcorn, and settle in. Race fans, it's show time! Green flag in the air, and through turn 1 they go.
saw the 86 run wide there. You're going to see a couple people do that, but they got to be careful not to get that slowdown as, typically it's a somehow a cutting the course running out wide there, so they got to look out for that.
And of course, as we work our way through the entry here to the bus stop, this is going to be a point of contention. I'm waiting to see a lot of smoke as there it is. A lot of these guys having to gear down fast, and there's already one person, I think that's Gavin Schilling, who just had to cut the track because there was no chance he was going to make that one. And this is a good run down here to the penultimate turn. You can get yourself a good head of steam, and you've got to get back on the binders hard. As it looks like all 24 drivers, we may have had a couple go off track, but all of them made it through this first lap, or nearly this first lap, in one piece. As they come back past the final wall, looks like Chris Morse Jr., he's going to get credit for leading the first lap, but look at Eddie Smith already as we go on the nose here of the 87 Tide Ride, and he is all over the rear bumper of the 81.
Yeah, and Eddie Smith was putting down some pretty fast times. I know his qualifying was about 4/10 off, but there's places to easily make up time across this entire track, and if there's going to be someone that can really challenge him, it's going to be Eddie Smith. These two have been door-to-door this entire season, and it's been a joyful thing to watch from up here.
Yeah, I would definitely rather be up here than watching. And one thing I don't think I've noticed yet this season is that the Tide Ride has the Ford Thunderbird trim, and I really likes it.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful cars there is, and I believe I heard something in the works on one of iRacing's development downloads or whatever they're called for the next upcoming season, that it's not coming out next season, but it's in the works to actually put in some of the older Gen 4 cars.
I'm all about it. Give me more of that, please, sir. We've already got 3 laps in the books. Timothy Wilmus here in the 86 machine just laid fast time down as he and Eddie Smith and Chris Morse are starting to try to build a gap here. But these guys still with a ton of space between them. Here's the 27 of Jake Ellingson getting around Timothy Wilmus. Oh dear. They come through the bus stop and through the carousel. I gotta be honest, that one was starting to look a little, let's just say, questionable. Another battle brewing back further in the field. Here's Brandon Kill. It is showing up. I didn't see the space.
Oh no, I see Hoagie. Hoagie has had an incident. I didn't know we had Hoagie tonight.
I just covered this. Actually, Hoagie's showing up as not himself.
I'm a little deaf. I apologize.
Deef, are you deef?
Deef.
In fact, I just happened to see Noah Hogard listed as just Am. It means this is his first night here. Let's get that fixed for you, folks. There it goes. Let's see what happened with Noah as he got off track. Looks like he registered as crashed. In the glove station 158. I like the chrome look. Here is Hoagie. All by his lonesome, not bothering anybody, and you can't go there. Can't go there either. You can't go there. You really do. Oh!
Ugh.
Well, that'll leave a sour taste in your mouth. I hope he had a mouth guard in. Jake Ellingson just laid fast time down at 1 minute 13.77 seconds. Drivers really whipping them off here. Sean Pope McCarthy ready to battle it out. Oh, wow, look at him.
Ooh.
I thought he was going to fight the 98, but Cliff Adams just blew his doors off, and now he drifts to the left. They're going to make contact. Watch the 99 of Brandon Wallace nearly taking out Oy, the 9, and I don't think that was on anybody's bingo card there. We're going to go to the cockpit here of Brandon Wallace. Feathers the throttle coming through the S's. He's not going to be bothered by this whatsoever. Coming down the backstretch, here he comes at the bus stop. And watch as we just kind of gracefully coast through here. The 99 making his way down toward the carousel, and as he heads through, it looks like perhaps he's going to just go single file for the time being, but a battle behind them as Gavin Schilling here in the 40 Gold Miller Lite chasing down our buddy Jamie Lipke.
Oh, I think I see Mark Cofield smoking down the back there too. I say down the back, but there is no back.
Let's see what happened with him. Cofield's all fine and dandy. Comes into turn.
I think he might loop it here, and he does, and there's nowhere to go there. Once you, yeah, that's this turn here, and then the carousel. It's very hard to get back to throttle because, I mean, you get back to the throttle too harsh, you're gonna spin those rear tires, and you're not gonna have any hand. It's gonna throw itself around, and you even gotta watch it through the S's sometimes. You know, coming up over this hill. Once it gets over the hill and starts to pick up speed again, it can whip around on you like nobody's business.
Showing this from another angle. Ay. And folks, you may be screaming, where's the caution, where's the caution? Since we're at a road course, we don't have that tonight. So 6 laps in the books, and these guys won't be stopping anytime soon for a yellow flag unless something heinous happens, and we're already past where that could happen. So Cliff Adams in the number 98 Yingling Brewery Chevrolet, he's already up 3 positions. Obviously, he's running on a tank of hops, barley, and happiness out of the Golden Hills of Pennsylvania's coal region. Founded in 1829, Yingling is America's oldest brewery, originally formed as the Eagle Brewery on Montagneux Street. Still located on Montagneux Street. Beautiful, beautiful facility. It's the best there ever will be. Change my mind. Dare you. We'll fight.
I'll fight you. Yeah, what he said. Miller Lite for the win.
Yeah. Buddy, listen, I feel like
no.
we consumed... No, you had no problem drinking Yingling when we were in Florida.
I did not drink a single Yingling, sir. Try me again.
Really?
I did not have a Yingling. I don't drink Yingling.
Bring your suitcase. Meet me on Sunday at the Allentown Airport. We're going to Florida. Task.
Well, if we both go to Florida, who's going to be here for this wonderful amount of racing that we get to see here each and every week?
Speaking of which, since he wanted to peel the curtain back just a little further, next Monday you're going to be without me here on the ARCA series, as I will be in the state of Ron DeSantis, Florida, USA. In fact, I'm going to go swimming. I put it on my bucket list. I am going to go swimming in the now named Gulf of America.
Gonna leave all my jokes that I have in my head for off-air time?
If you hear people, trying to call for a marine biologist, as Eddie Smith takes the lead away from Chris Morse Jr. here on lap number 8. Eddie Smith just blew the doors off of him. We're going to watch this pass again because it deserves it. Watch Eddie Smith here. He sniffs, he goes to the outside, and all of a sudden they drag race into the bus stop, and Eddie Smith just makes it about his business. Gets around the 81 of Chris Morse and runs away with it. Don't stain your ride, use Tide. As we're starting to see some of these gaps get a little closer. I mean, this is something that I got to be honest, A lot of times when we're calling these road races, we see that one guy who's a real ringer for road courses, and all of a sudden he's just running away, and he's like 12 minutes ahead of everyone else. These guys are all really competitive, 9 laps in. I mean, biggest gap here is 4 seconds between McCarthy and Wilness. And, everybody, and of course, I didn't ask for the pit strategy to show up, but there it is. But the 86 of Timothy Wilmus, he has really fallen off here. He started on the outside of row 1, and all of a sudden he's back here running in 7th. So, maybe this is not his strong suit, at least in race trim. As Eddie Smith leads the way, he's followed by Chris Morris Jr., who's already fallen behind by a second. Jake Ellingson another half second behind Chris Morris Jr. He runs in 3rd. Ryzen Baker in 4th. Daniel Cunningham in 5th. That's your top 5. Michael McCarthy, Timothy Wilmus, Jonah Colbert, Brandon Kiger, and now Cliff Adams gets the 98 Yingling machine. He's just giving me reasons now. He just crawled up into 10th position. He's up 4. I have to report what I see, and I can't help that it happens to be my guy here. You know what? And I like the black and we're going to look a little bit closer here to that front left fender. Oh my! Look at that. They have
all the labels.
Porter. They have Lager Porter. That's the old premium label. Black and Tan Light and Oktoberfest. I can't see what that is, but I'd be willing to bet that that's that's Lord Chesterfield and Golden Pilsner.
Buddy,
do
I need to have an intervention with you?
No, I don't have a problem. Jamie Lipke
Honestly,
all of a sudden back into 16th position as he just watched Gavin Schilling gallop on by him. Lipke doing just like he said earlier, keep it between the lines, keep it on the track, and he seems to be doing that. I haven't seen his name registered lately, as Eddie Smith has now opened up about 9/10 of a second over Chris Morse, and then some, now 1.2 seconds ahead of Chris Morse, who's being harassed like Jake Ellingson. Somebody better call HR because there is a workplace harassment suit waiting as Ellingson is it's harassment, as Ellingson is all over the rear of Chris Morse.
Well, never mind.
I went a long way to get to the punchline.
Yeah, I had rebuttals, but I got to remember to be professional. I try to be professional. Am I professional? I don't really know.
I mean, I've called you a pro, but I was shortening it for prostitutes.
There we go.
11 laps in the books.
Like you said, these guys aren't really able to stretch out a ton here. Just a second ahead there, a second and a half for Eddie Smith over Chris Morris, but then this whole rest of the top 4 there, all within a blanket of each other, and then you pan back here, you got Jeremiah Holt fighting for position here.
Yeah, Holt running in 12th position. He's up from starting in 13th as he's being chased down by Brandon Wallace. Wallace leaving a lot to be desired there, as he's really not chasing him down hard, but maybe he's just lurking. And, sometimes I think that's what these kind of races, need to some degree. You just need to be back there waiting for the driver in front of you. If you can match them step for step, like Brandon Wallace says, you need to be back there just waiting for Jeremiah to make a mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a big key to road racing in itself anyway, is, if you're not a good road racer, but you can keep it between the lines, you kind of just wait for others to, overstep their, abilities, and then you get to, claim that spot and just kind of cruise on and hope that, they don't rebound and get back to you. But if they do, I mean, it's just a spot. It's all about maximizing your points here tonight as best as you possibly can to get on to next week. And, set yourself up to make a run into the playoffs and kind of keep your momentum moving forward. I mean, we've got here at Watkins, Glen, Pocono, and then USA International. So just these 3 races here. And, there's still plenty of points up to grab there. And, you just got to try to maximize here and go into Pocono and USA. With the mindset of getting every possible point you can.
Yeah, and as we say about, trying to maximize, Chris Morse Jr. was just under assault from Jake Ellingson, as he is still sliding backwards. He's definitely losing ground on Eddie Smith, who's now up to a 1.2-second lead over top of him. Now, Smith is still laying down a 1 minute 13-second .45. That's his fastest of the race. And we see a lot of these guys now. Ellingson laid his fast time down at 1 minute 13.15. But we're starting to see some of those times fall off. Here comes Riley Duncan. We just took a peek at him a moment ago, as he's going to come down and get pit service a while. So green flag pit stops underway for reasons I'm not quite sure of. Maybe Duncan's got an issue. Mark Gofield and Noah Hogard already down laps, and Andy Kurtz the same way. Actually, Andy Kurtz down several laps. I don't know what caused that. As the 87 of Eddie Smith heads on down the front stretch, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. The Hoagie crew is in tonight.
Sorry.
My goat Kubat gonna win trust, says Smullers. Ryzen repping the NR community with that papyrus scheme. Let's check out Ryzen Baker. Oh my.
Papyrus.
PapyrusRacing.com all over this Monte Carlo, and I'll tell you what, it's a sharp-looking paint scheme. It makes me feel like I should stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance, or pray at Thanksgiving dinner if you're or not Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, if you're a Christmas Vacation fan. But Ryzen Baker.
I can't say my favorite line. I can't say my favorite line from that.
You are one of the jolliest bunch of folks this side of the nut house.
That's not my favorite.
I'm just letting you know. Here in the double natural, Ryzen Baker running in 4th position. Not Hoagie, no. Let's see where Hoagie is right now.
Would you say that he's rising to the occasion?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do agree. Oh, God. Well, just in case you didn't think that this could devolve any further, there it goes, right off the deep end. I want to thank our good friends over at Above the Yellow Line. We're gonna do an ad read if you don't mind now. But our good friends over at Above the Yellow Line in 2021, Above the Yellow Line with Taylor Kitchen began as a podcast fueled by a passion for motorsports and a desire to build community. What started as a simple idea has grown into something far beyond what she could have imagined. And through this journey, Taylor and her team have not only connected with passionate motorsports fans, but have also formed connections with several inspiring content creators united by their love for the sport. That passion and collaboration led to the creation of ATYL Media, a dynamic team of motorsports content creators dedicated to producing motorsports content that's fresh, informative, and fun. At ATYL Media, we cover everything you love about motorsports, from F1 and IndyCar to NASCAR, short tracks, and even virtual racing. We celebrate the sport's rich history, explore its exciting future, and enjoy every moment in between. This is Motorsports Media, your way. And of course, Go Talk Live is out there on the ATYL Media platform, and you're watching the Goat Locker Racing Glove Station ARCA series. And here at Glove Station, we are committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of your daily activities and jobs. From tinkering on home DIYs to working in industrial environments and everything in between, we've got you covered. With the endless amounts of safety products on the market, we want to make it effortless for you to find the right protection for your needs. And they, of course, sponsor us every week right here in the GLR Glove Station ARCA series. Live on Sim Racing Media, Dave Regal and Jordan Brockel with you tonight as Brandon Kiger gets right alongside of Robert Kubat.
He's able to kind of pull away there. Up 9 positions from the start of the race. Not too bad for him there. Is the biggest mover in this field so far. So, I mean, 9 spots. It's a good start. I mean, started tail end of the field up to 15th now. So, I think someone's calling for me to be fired. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
It says, fire that guy, and I'm just going to assume my dad joke went into the shame. I got put in the corner of shame there.
Well, it's better than wearing the cone of shame. That keeps you from licking yourself, which is something that I really wouldn't put past you.
I hate when you break me, because like I can't. I have no rebuttal, and then I'm just here. I'm just yeah.
That's my job. As Smallers cheering Robert on KCT02 saying Roberto.
It's your daddy, Roberto.
Roberto.
I saw you on the ESPN.
As Eddie Smith and Jake Ellingson are up atop the pile, Jake Ellingson, as he looks out from the rear here, he's starting to see Ryzen Baker chasing him down, and Baker gets a little loose coming out of turn one and coming up, out of the S's and coming toward the front stretch. We're going to step aside and pay some bills here on Sim Racing Media. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll be right back in just a few moments.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you
110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
Oh, when you said I was like cocaine. And I was like, that's not right. Baker. I don't know, there's just a W ad. I guess. Like, it's a good ad. W. It's good. It's a win.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Oh, yeah. It'll be an early night. Okay.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does! Weaving back to the left. left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International, where Brandon Wallace has taken over as our race leader during green flag pit stops. Chris Morse Jr. and Eddie Smith follow close behind. Now, Chris Morse Jr., he's our pole sitter, our Jan Printing and Promotions pole winner, as he's got Eddie Smith and Jake Ellingson running 3 and 4 behind him. Now, Brandon Wallace, of course, as I had mentioned, has not come down pit road, as we have now reached the halfway point. 40 laps the total scheduled distance, and now we are 20 to go as Brandon Wallace comes down pit road. Chris Morse Jr.
It looks like the 38 of Robert was into the barrels there.
Something's wrong. Now, I'm just sitting here paying attention to Chris Morse Jr., and I don't see him getting pit service or anything. Unless he has some kind of an issue.
Nope, there it goes. It's just not bringing the tires all the way up off the ground for some reason.
Yeah, but he was just down pit road. Now he's given up the lead. I'm not sure what happened. He may have had an issue on pit road originally. And Ray Ellingson, not sure whose mic you may or may not have heard. We didn't hear. I know ours were both shut off.
I did go back, and mine was not shut off.
That's strange. Well,
you left me out there to embarrass myself, sir.
That's fine. Eddie Smith, our race leader, followed by Jake Ellingson and Daniel Cunningham. Thank you, Ray, for pointing that out to us. And Ellingson just laid fast time down at 1 minute 12.86 seconds. And don't look now, but we're 18 laps to go.
Yeah, and it's ticking by quick, and I mean Eddie Smith, he's out to a almost 3 1/4 second lead here over Jake Ellingson. Starting to see a couple. Oh! That was a scary moment for sure for Eddie Smith. I guess it's a good thing he's got tied there. We say it each and every week, and somehow something happens to where it makes a perfect pun.
Let's go on back here, because that almost went from the Aaron's Dream Machine to the Aaron's Nightmare Machine.
Whoa.
Now we see the 85.
Lost it in the bus stop, and I think he, again, trying to just get going.
I don't think he...
That loses it. Yeah. Still, these cars, once they're in that lower gear.
So here's the thing. I realized that he nearly hit the 87.
But he was trying to get off the track.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's going to be somebody that says, he should have held the brake. But I'll tell you what, if he would have held the brake, the 87 would have avoided him a little bit more safely. Well, then a tip of the cap to the 87. Some good heads-up driving. KCTO2 talking smack on our Hoagie dude. Noah Hogard is back here minding his and leaving everybody else's alone. He's driving the glove station number 158 right now. He's, about 4 laps down. He's not bothering anybody. He just got passed again by Eddie Smith. But first of all, that glove station paint scheme is looking sharp. And here at Glove Station, we are committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of your daily activities and jobs. From tinkering on home DIYs to working in industrial environments and everything in between, we've got you covered. With the endless amounts of safety products on the market, we want to make it effortless for you to find the right protection for your needs. And of course, they are our primary sponsor here on Monday nights. And KCTO2 now claiming that Hoagie drives like his grandma. So, that's a shame. My name is
I don't know. There are some grandmas that drive really fast and terrify the hell out of me, so you can do that.
Well, it sure as heck isn't my mother, and she's a grandmother. My mom will scare you to death. She drives like a race car driver. She's got the one foot on the throttle, the other foot on the brake. Approaching every intersection, she puts her hand over the center of the steering. She puts her hand over the center of the steering wheel, as if she's going to honk the horn. And I don't know what she thinks that's going to do. The only thing that I can see is that if something hits her and the airbag deploys, she's going to smack herself in the face. I can say that because I know she's not listening.
High five to the face.
Oh, she would absolutely give herself a high five to the face as Timothy Wilmus chases down Cliff Adams. We go on board here with Wilmus in the 86 machine. And my goodness.
You heard him shift there, kind of keeping the revs down. And that's what I feel like a lot of people tend to do when they run here is they try to keep the revs down going through those S's. You can kind of be a little bit more aggressive with the wheel. It's not going to make up time, but you can be a little bit more aggressive. Don't have to worry about spinning yourself out. Here's where it gets tricky because you want to try to get the speed out of the bus stop and then immediately throw it to the right and take the carousel. And that's where there's a lot of ability to loop the thing around going through that carousel. And it's also easy to kind of get tight once these tires get worn in. You get a little bit of tight, start plowing up that carousel and don't want to run off that edge.
Something I noticed there as we were on board with Timothy Willis in the 86, I noticed that he was starting to gain on the 98. He kind of got a good run on the 98 coming into the bus stop. And I think he knew that he had the momentum, but it's almost like a dog who chases cars. You never know. The dog would have no idea what to do with the car if he actually caught it. And I think that Wilmus, as skilled of a driver as he is, I think that he may have gotten a little overconfident trying to chase down Adams in the 98 and just kind of lost some ground on him. And, the interesting thing is Adams right now in the 98 Yingling Black and Tan machine is our highest running AM driver.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to give him a win, if he can hang on here. But I think it's a little too late to get to those top guys. I mean, they're 19 or so seconds ahead of him, and they're just pulling away from each other in that aspect as well. I mean, Daniel Cunningham's sitting about 4 seconds off of Jake Ellingson. Jake Ellingson's about 4 seconds off of Eddie Smith. So things are starting to even out, and these guys are starting to find some separation here late in this race.
Well, Timothy Wilmus here in the number 86 Save22.vet machine chases down the 98. And, of course, our good friends over at Save22. It's a 501c3 organization dedicated to preventing suicide among veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders. We support those who have served our nation and communities by listening to their stories and providing unwavering support, ensuring they are never alone or forgotten. Our unwavering mission extends to 4 critical pillars: shield, assist, volunteer, and educate. Of course, they sponsor Goat Talk Live over and above the yellow line, and you can check them out over there. And all of a sudden, there he is. See, he got another run on the 98 again, and Adams was able to scurry away from him.
Yeah, but running off deep on that exit there. I don't believe there is a slowdown in that area, simply because I think that's one of the runoffs that you can fully take as wide as you want. Which is kind of weird because you think you'd be able to do it on the first turn too. I mean, we see those guys go way out wide, but I don't see the advantage you would get from there. Christopher Morris just trying to bounce back. He's up to 6th after pulling another pit stop, I believe. I don't know if he had an issue or what, but finds himself way back here, just off of the top 5.
And that's the sad part about, Chris Morris Jr. I mean, he's, of course, our Jam Printing and Promotions pole sitter, and now he currently runs in 6th position. And, of course, out of Plainfield, Indiana, Jam Printing and Promotions is local and veteran certified, and when we do well, we can do more good in the community. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning. They provide GLR with all promotional items, including shirts, hats, decals, dog tags, you name it. Jam is GLR's go-to promotional company. And, unfortunately, Chris Morse here not able to capitalize on getting that Jam Printing and Promotion pole award, but there's always next week. And next week, of course, as I mentioned, you're going from one strangely shaped track because we're making right-hand turns, and you're coming to the tricky triangle while I'm in Florida.
Triangle.
Sorry, triangle.
Is that what they play in those bluegrass bands? Ding, 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 ding.
No, they play cowbell.
True.
See what I did there? More cowbell?
Yes, I did. More cowbell. See, when I think of cowbell, I just think of being woken up at 3 a.m. by the George Lopez show.
Oh, that was such a good show back in the day.
Oh, my
God. This is still chasing down Cliff Adams. Cliff Adams is going to wind up having to get a restraining order.
I mean, at this point, too, I mean, the more that they battle and the more they push, they're going to cause themselves to have a little bit more, some more slides. You're going to use up their stuff. It's going to allow Chris Morris Jr. to maybe pull himself in to their top 5 fight there and maybe jump 2 spots there potentially. So, I mean, we know Chris Morris has been bad fast all season long. I mean, he's the only multi-race winner that we've had so far, with 4 wins on the season. And again, I know it's not going to be a bad finish for him, but certainly those wins, help his. Oh, I see somebody around there, but those wins certainly going to help him out with the stresses of getting to the playoffs.
Taking a look here at the Splash Auto Spa Glove Station, number 73 of Jeremiah Holt. Now, Holt, another strong AM driver, he would finish 2nd in the AM running tonight. And Sean Pope McCarthy, he's currently running in 10th. So three AM drivers here in the top 10. That's something we don't get a chance to see a whole lot. And I was trying to find the Splash Auto Spa location here, but the only one that I can find is in Shirley, New York. Surely you must be joking.
Oh, he didn't.
If I was in the neighborhood, I was
there. I imagine it. If Eddie Smith hangs on for another 9 laps, I've got a bone to pick with him from last week's interview when he was like, "We're talking about road racing."
Yeah.
He didn't want to talk about road racing, but here he is leading with 9 laps to go with an 8.5-second lead.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll say this. How many times, and you know, we've been doing this a long time together, you know, every now and then, I shouldn't say every now and then, almost inevitably, when somebody says to you, I really don't like this particular track, or
Yeah,
I'm not really
100%.
great. First off, you know that they're going to put the work in. It's kind of like on my 600-pound life. You got to do the work, you know? You got to do the work before we can get you the surgery. Sorry, I was about to go down a really terrible rabbit hole. But, you know, that's when you start to see guys like Eddie Smith put the extra practice time in. They do the extra work. And sure enough, you know, you can come out on top of one of these things if you put that kind of dedication and time in. And that's what we see week after week out of a lot of these drivers, both in the pro and the AM side. And Eddie Smith is just out there proving that practice may not make you perfect, but it makes you a heck of a lot better than P2, which is right now gapped by 8.4 seconds and then some.
Yeah, Eddie Smith is another one of those guys that, you know, it's kind of crazy that he only has one win here. I mean, he's one of those, he should be right there with Christopher Morris, splitting a couple of those races that Morris has won. You know, they were door-to-door or right there, or a strategy just knocked Eddie out, or, you know, he's another one of those guys that's just, you imagine him having more wins, just being his second win. So, certainly puts in the time and work, and it's a ton of fun to listen to him after the race. He's always full of energy, too, and it's I love when we come in here and they mess with us. It makes things lively and fun.
Yeah, you know, I think that's one thing that that I get from a lot of these guys in this league, and that's that they like to be lively and fun. You know, you don't really get any you know, fall flat on your face interviews here. As with the Dodge setup here in that Golden Miller Lite machine, Gavin Schilling about to get around Sean Hope McCarthy as they're going to drag race. Right down here, it looks like
crossover
finish line, maybe the crossover move as he rolls out of the final turn. Oh dear! Oh, maybe took that one a little bit wide as he came out of the penultimate turn, comes through the final, and they're going to fight it out all the way back to the start-finish line. And Sean Pope McCarthy just gets around Michael McCarthy. I'm sorry, Gavin Schilling. Gets around Sean Pope McCarthy. I can read.
Reading is hard.
But Gavin Schilling now gets around Sean Pope McCarthy. He runs where he started originally. Timothy Wilmus here in the 86 starting to back off of Jake Ellenson. And now has Chris Morse not too far off from him.
Yeah, so I mean, he's going to fight his way back into this top 5. 6 laps to go. I mean, he could certainly get one more position, possibly 2 more, and then that's where it would become you'd need those guys up front to all kind of lose their way to be able to get to them, but. Putting in the hard work here at the end, trying to get every position that he can.
Pope McCarthy is Pope McCarthy. I never knew that we had an Irish Pope. Get it? Pope McCarthy? See what I did there?
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Sean Pope McCarthy coming down pit road. What an interesting decision here with just 5 to go. Did you ever shoot his pit box? No, you got it there. He's going to get 4 tires and take a go fast. The one thing that drives me nuts about a road course, especially like this one, is that pit cycle starts on the left side of the car instead of the right side.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird feeling. Gasman's got to come all the way over to the left side.
Well, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. I would be curious whether or not, like in the real world, if that screws with the driver, because he's used to seeing those guys right there at the side of his window net, on his side of the car. But now, once you're in a road course setup, you know, all of a sudden these guys are across the other side.
And I kind of take back what I said. I think when the IRL come here, I think they might actually switch the... I think they switch where the fuel fill is on these cars, but I'm going to have to pay attention. I'm going to have to pay attention in the IRL to see if they do that. I don't know why my brain all of a sudden thought maybe that's what they do, but... I mean, you don't want a gas man standing out there to pit road with, with a giant gas can and potentially getting hit. So I think they do switch that to the right side when they do come here in IRL.
Can you say in IRL because isn't it in real life? Would that...
Yeah, but like I feel like if you say they switch to the right side IRL, it just doesn't. I don't know. But then if I say in RL, it just doesn't sound right either. Eddie Smith got a almost 8.5 second lead over Daniel. Christopher Morris sitting in 4th right now. Got past Timothy Wilms. And it's just this display of, just performance by Eddie Smith. I know he's lost about half a second to Daniel Cunningham to P2, but just as he gets out of the S's, you see him jump back up over 8 seconds here. And then he'll go through this bus stop, probably make up a good bit of time through here too. Throws it through there over the rumble strips.
Yeah, 3 laps to go for Eddie Smith as he gets ready to bring this all the way home. Now, he obviously made this a one-stop race as he's just coming out of the carousel and down toward the penultimate turn. I like if they call it penultimate, but it just sounds so efficient. As here he comes toward the final turn and toward that final wall. But Eddie Smith has just been a powerhouse tonight. He's ran away with this thing. You know, and this is what I was talking about earlier. As the popsicle sticks go in the air, we're 2 laps to go. You know, Eddie Smith rose to the top, and this is what, you know, I've seen a lot more of lately at road courses. Oh, my name is Cobb says that they switched the fuel intake to the passenger side.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. After I said it, I was like, that doesn't make sense to have it on the left side, because then you have a gas man in harm's way on pit road with a giant tank of gas, and
I think
if he gets hit, and it gets flung out in the air, and yeah.
Why do you act like that's a problem?
Well, fire. I mean, certainly fire is fun, but I mean, watching a gas man get hit and fling a gas can across the pit road into somebody's windshield.
Eddie Smith leads the way here with these just 2 laps left. It's Eddie Smith, Daniel Cunningham, and Jake Ellingson, while Cliff Adams here in the 98 leading the way for the AM drivers. Now, Jeremiah Holt and Gavin Schilling, they're going to anchor the AM podium. But Eddie Smith now crossing the start-finish line. The popsicle sticks go down. The white flag is in the air, and we are racing back to checkers. And Eddie Smith is in total cruise control as Cliff Adams is still here trying to get himself a top 5. He's not done yet. He could easily get that AM win.
Oh, he's to the inside.
And he's not about to have any of it.
Yeah, he was to the left side there for a moment. Caught better of it. Gonna make a run. I'd look for him to dart out to the right side here and try to outbrake him into turn 1. He gets outside, but not able to outbrake the 86 here. Not a ton of time for him to find places to get by him. He's going to have maybe a shot in the bus stop. And then, you know, the last 2 corners, and those are going to be the last, pretty much the last chance efforts there to get by him. Not going to be close enough here to make a jump in the bus stop. Because you got to be almost right on the rear bumper to kind of peek out at the last minute.
Yeah, he's chasing him down, but I don't think he's going to have it. As Eddie Smith comes out of the final turn, he crosses the start-finish line, and Eddie Smith picks up the pro win in the Glove Station ARCA Series. Now we turn our attention, of course, to Daniel Cunningham and Jake Ellingson. They're going to come across the line next on the pro side, and here comes Cliff Adams, still trying to nab himself a top 5 finish. He's only got one breath left before they get back to that start-finish line. Cliff Adams here trailing Timothy Wilmus by about 0.4 of a second, crosses the start-finish line in the Yingling number 98 machine, and he is going to be your AM winner and joined on the AM podium by Jeremiah Holt and Gavin Schilling. An impressive run for everybody tonight. Eddie Smith, he's going to get a chance to celebrate as he takes a little cool-down lap here. As the Goat Locker Racing Glove Station ARCA Series wraps things up here at Watkins Glen, I got to be honest, I can't believe how fast this was. And most of these drivers, even on the last lap of the race, were running 1 minute 16-second laps.
Yeah, these guys had speed throughout this entire race and just fighting to the very end. Chris Morris bounces all the way back up to 4th. Eddie Smith coming away with the win, his second win of the season. I believe that's, back-to-back podiums for him now?
It is, and Cliff Adams picks up his second AM win of the season as Eddie Smith is going to bring it here on the front stretch. He's going to burn things down in the tide ride. Cliff Adams hops into the our 3 pro drivers to get on in there. Brandon, Mississippi's very own Eddie Smith.
I think he gets dizzy. He's going to get dizzy at some point.
If you didn't get dizzy from road course racing for the last 50 minutes.
He's probably burning it down because he's didn't quite expect to be there, there as his interview last week. I was like, road course is all right.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've said that time and time again, and for these guys like that, absolutely. And I believe you have Eddie Smith with you right now, Jordan.
Eddie Smith, it's Boys in the Booth. Get a copy.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so I mean, the man who was like, road courses are okay, and wanted to bust my chops. I mean, here you are, the winner here at Watkins Glen, brother.
Heck yeah, it feels good too.
I bet, man. I mean, there at the end, you're just able to kind of pull away and just kind of put it on cruise control and just kind of cruised here. I mean, that's got to be a good feeling. You weren't too excited, I should say, about road courses, but you're able to kind of pull away here and cruise on to victory, man.
Yeah, we had a pretty decent qualifying effort, I'd say. Started 3rd and got past Wilms there early. And I thought, we were worried about fuel because it was going to be a tight one stopper. You're really going to have to make sure you save a little bit. So we had to clutch all the way down the pace lap, the coming to green, to try to save at least about half a lap, it felt like. And so we did that and came to the green flag, got down into 1, was able to get by Wilms coming out of the S's, and then just focused on Morse. Morse was pushing pretty hard, and I was really trying to stay in 3rd the whole time just to try to save as much fuel as I could, just to make sure I had the ability to get to lap 21. That way the last stint I could just kind of go. And did a good job of that. Chris was, he was driving the wheels off of it, was driving good, and finally able to get around him and started to kind of be able to pace myself a little bit. And yeah, came down pit road exactly what I wanted to. Came out, and I'm not really sure what happened to Chris, but yeah, it was all in all a good race. I'm really happy to get this win.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's got to feel good to get a second win. You get the one win, get yourself locked in, and then you get the second one at a road course at that. Builds momentum heading into the playoffs here in just 3 short weeks from now, and you're going to make a good run and a good fight, and want to wish you luck for that. But before we let you go, man, certainly got to be some people that you got to thank for tonight's performance.
Yeah, for sure. Lincoln Tech for their sponsorship of the entire fall, spring series. Safe 22, of course, Glove Station. I'm so happy to have them come on board here at Goat Locker. And it's been really cool to sit and talk with those folks. Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, really, honestly, I mean, Goat Locker could not do it without them. The grants that they offer Goat Locker to do the things they do, give out these sim rigs is just incredible. So we can't thank them enough. Got to thank the guys over at Bandits for their strategies, working together, sharing information. This win doesn't happen without them. And, of course, thank y'all in the booth.
Appreciate you for your time, brother, and have a good one.
See ya.
That the voice of our pro winner, Eddie Smith. Let's see if we can get a hold of Daniel Cunningham. And Daniel Cunningham, it's Dave up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, listen, busy night for you. You start in 6th, you finish P2 here on the podium. So, how does that kind of translate to what do you take out of this for this race?
I don't know. I'm just kind of glad to get a solid finish. So now I'm going to have to miss next week. I think I've already used my 2 drop weeks, so it's going to kind of hurt as far as points go. So, yeah, that's just kind of my mindset. Just try to have a solid night. I know I'm not going to win on road courses because there's a lot of guys that are faster than me at road courses. But, yeah, I think just the biggest takeaway that I saw from the majority of the night is just be smooth and hit your marks. There's quite a few guys that I saw trying to drive the balls off of these things tonight, and I think it bit more than 1 or 2 of them.
Well, that happens more often than anybody really ever wants to admit to. When you think that you can do this and all of a sudden you think, I'm going to drive the wheels off of this thing, and instead you just drive the wheels of it off the track, it can really bite you right in the tailpipe. But, overall, it's just one road course on the season. They don't litter you guys with a whole lot of road courses, and believe me, they're not my favorite. I know for a lot of the drivers it's not their favorite, but still a great showing tonight with, 23 of you out on track. What are you looking forward to as we turn our attention to the Tricky Triangle next week?
Well, I'll be at a Disturbed in 3 Days Grace concert next week, so y'all have fun with that one. I'm disappointed that I'm honestly disappointed, not that I'm missing Pocono, because they could take a bulldozer to that place and it wouldn't upset me any, but missing the first race with the new car kind of sucks. I've been looking forward to that, and I realized just how the dates fell. It was when I wasn't going to be here. So, yeah, I'll be interested to pull up the broadcast and see how they drive and see, if it kind of mixes the field up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, me personally, I love Pocono because it's my home track, so to speak. It's only about, an hour and a half from my front door. But, I mean, it's still a really tough technical track. So I feel like going to a concert's probably better off then.
Yeah, I think I'm making the right choice for that one, just personally.
Pocono kicks my butt every time I go on track, but I can't get enough of it. Before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank and who do you need to tip your helmet to for helping you get it done on the 91 team tonight?
Yeah, thanks for doing the broadcast. Appreciate you guys doing that. And our league sponsors, GM Printing and Promotions. Appreciate all the admins putting the work into it, teammates over at Bandits Motorsports. And just want to give a quick shout out to one of my teammates, Mike Kostick. I just saw that he said that I need to stop the Pocono slander because that's his favorite track. So, I never miss an opportunity to give him crap about Pocono whenever I can. So, I threw that in there just for him tonight.
All right, my man. Well, listen, congratulations on the P2 finish. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, and enjoy your concert next week.
Thank you.
That the voice of Daniel Cunningham. And next up on the podium, I believe you've got him with you now, Chris Morse Jr., our pole sitter, now running in third position here on the podium.
I believe Chris Morris came P4, but we can still
I do apologize. He was down here in the waiting room, and I grabbed him.
We're just so used to talking to him.
Well, yeah, let's get a hold of Jake Ellingson. It's all
Jake Ellingson. Jake Ellingson is Jordan up in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going, boys?
Hey, it's going, man. I mean, you come in tonight. I know. I don't know what your stance is on road courses. I mean, you didn't do bad at all. I mean, you finished podium position, but you come in four points out. You're going to be able to kind of match even with a couple of these guys and kind of keep yourself right there at that cut line to fight into these playoffs. So, I mean, coming into a road course and being able to podium, that's got to be a great feeling.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I always felt comfortable at Watkins Glen here, but it was a bit of a fuel strategy game through the entire race. We were like half a lap short at the start from making it halfway, so it was interesting on what happened that second half of that run.
Now, I've heard a couple of guys talk about that fuel situation there, and I'm just curious, would you find it easier to save here at a road course, or would you find it easier to save at an oval? Because me, I go 100% all out. I don't pay attention to saving because I probably won't be there anywhere near the end or even possibly the first pit stop before I'm, inside the wall upside down. So just get somebody who's actually a good racer to give me a little bit of insight on that.
For me, oval is a little bit more comfortable with fuel saving, tire saving, and everything like that. I'm not much of a road racer. I know me being on podium doesn't, counteract that, but I'm definitely not a road racer. There's guys in here who are lights out fast, like Eddie, Cody McElwain, Ryan Pendleton, Michael Kostick. Them guys are lights out fast at road courses. But it's definitely easier for me on ovals.
Well, you certainly you put on a performance here, and you show us that you do know how to turn right and left, and certainly there's got to be a group of guys that you can thank for that performance there.
Oh, definitely. I definitely got to thank Jam Printing Promotions for titling the pole award. They're our longest lasting sponsor of GLR here. Glove Station, can't thank them enough for coming on board and broadcasting the series. You guys at SRM, you guys are doing a phenomenal job of broadcasting the Sunday and Monday night series here, and then Alexander PCs for giving our veterans PCs for the sim giveaways that we do for that. And then last but not least, I can't thank my beautiful daughters and my wonderful wife for allowing me to have the time to come out and have fun with you guys.
Well, we certainly appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, brother, and look forward to talking to you some more throughout the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Hopefully it comes every week, but we'll see what happens on a week-to-week basis, right?
Absolutely. We'll see when the dust finally settles in what feels like a short amount of time, but it's still about a month or so of racing. If I can do math. I can't do math. It's almost 2 months of racing. I'm terrible at math. We learned that pretty easily. All right. Thank you, brother.
Not a problem. Y'all have a good one.
And last but certainly not least, driver of the number 98 Yingling Black and Tan machine, Cliff Adams out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. Hey, Cliff, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Buddy, listen, great run tonight. As you're probably as close as anybody's ever come to picking up the natural win here for an AM driver. And I mean, you finished sixth tonight, so of course you pick up the AM win. But how was it down there on the racetrack in the Yingling machine?
It was a lot of fun. I think this track and car combo is it's just a lot of fun to drive the car. It's unfortunate we're going to lose it, but no, it was cool. It was a good battle on the guys, and it's just super fun.
Yeah, I feel like, a lot of times you get to a place like this and you've got somebody who's really good at a road course and somebody who's, they try, but sometimes it's too little too late. Where do you fall on the spectrum of road course racers?
Probably mediocre, but I mean, I grew up. I raced go karts as a kid, or not kid, young adult, on the endurance tracks and stuff. So I have a little bit of a road course background. Road course is a lot of fun to me. Just it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, road courses can be a lot of fun, not necessarily for guys like me, but of course, I also got to ask you, what's your connection to Yingling? And wow, what a great paint scheme!
Yingling gets me through every caution lap.
My man. And what is your favorite? Of course, Yingling has about 7 different brews. Do you have a favorite?
It would probably be the black and tan, and then the lager behind it.
Have you tried the Flight yet? Flight is just this side of delicious.
No, I haven't. Actually, there's a couple of other ones I want to try. I haven't got to yet, but I keep sticking to the same old one.
Buddy, listen, I was the same way for a long time. I don't think you have Yingling Premium down there in North Carolina. If you do, that's cool. Yingling Flight, fabulous. Golden Pilsner, pretty good. But, of course, the classic is always lager, which was originally brewed, well, it was originally brought back in 1985, so.
I like Miller Lite.
Nobody asked you. But listen, Cliff, great run again tonight as you bring home the AM win. Before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank and who helped you get it done on the 98 team?
I'd like to thank Glove Station for sponsoring the series, all the guys behind the scenes, the race officials, admins, Pat and Jamie for putting it on, you guys for doing the broadcast. Just it's a good group of guys to race with.
A group of guys it is. Well, listen, man, congratulations once again. We'll see you next week at Pocono.
All right, have a good one.
Well, Jordan, another one in the books here in the Goat Locker Racing Glove Station ARCA series, and it wasn't necessarily a barn burner, but wow. I mean, what an incredible run.
Yeah, I mean, each guy that you talk to that, could possibly even be a road racer, they always have that same kind of reaction where they're like, oh, I'm not really that good at road courses. And then they come out here and, like you said, they say they're not good, and then they come Daniel Cunningham says, I can't win, but, road course is all right. He comes out here, runs P2. Same thing with Jake Ellingson. Seems like a lot of these guys just are like, it's a road course. So nonchalant, and me, when I see a road course on the schedule, I'm just like, when am I going to end up backwards?
Yeah. For me, road courses are not fun, but as a racer, but watching them as a broadcaster is just incredible. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, of course, over in our YouTube.com live chat. As we get a little compliment from somebody called the Independence Racing Network. Appreciate you guys. And before we get out of here, let's take one final look at our race results. Eddie Smith picks up the win tonight with with Daniel Cunningham. That's interesting. I see what the problem is. Eddie Smith picks up the win with Daniel Cunningham and Jake Ellingson on the podium with him. Chris Morse Jr. finishes in 4th with Timothy Wilmus rounding out your top 5. Cliff Adams gets the AM win tonight, and he's followed by Brandon Wallace, Jeremiah Holt, Gavin Schilling, and Michael McCarthy, making up the rest of your top 10. Jamie Libke comes home in 11th position. Brandon Kiger comes home in 12th. Sean Pope McCarthy gets 13th, while Chuck Pegleg Feltz finishes 14th. 15th is Mark Cofield, with Alan Smith, Josh Unger, Ryzen Baker, Noah Hoagie Hogard, and Robert Kubat rounding out your top 20, with Jonah Colbert, Riley Duncan, and Andy Kurtz making up the best of the rest here tonight. And unfortunately, you can't win them all. And for guys like Jonah Colbert and Riley Duncan, there's always next week. And, of course, next week we'll be headed off to Pocono, as you're going to be at my home track while I am off. So, folks, I'll see you back here on Monday night in a couple of weeks, as I'm going to be on vacation. So starting Sunday, so you won't have me on Sunday night for the Truck Series or next Monday for the ARCA Series. However, I can't wait to get back with all of you. And for myself, Dave Regal, and my good friend and my brother from another mother, Mr. Jordan Brockel, we want to thank you for tuning in and making us a part of your evening. And tomorrow and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
I was like, am I actually clear this time?